Hello, it is time for actions. In particular, we're going to create watermarks. So we're going to record our custom own action, click on it and just hit play. And then it's going to add our watermark, okay, of our author right in the middle there. Okay, we can do it over and over again on every image. We can also do it with logos. So I've got one here that we make in this particular video on logos, goes in the bottom right, super quick, super easy, saving you loads of time. We love actions. Let's go. All right, let's get started by opening up our exercise files. You'll find them in the exercise files under O3 preferences and workflow. And let's open up image 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll start with image 1. So let's quickly look at what actions are if you haven't used them before. Let's go to Window and go to Actions. And basically all they are is steps in Photoshop that somebody else has recorded. You'll see here, like there's one here for a vignette. If I twirl it down, it just means it's just going through steps in Photoshop. Is take a snapshot, add a feather, make a copy of the layer, fill it. All these steps are just recorded in here. So you can use some of the default ones. These haven't been updated since it feels like the 90s. If we click on wood frame and hit plus, okay, it says it has to be that big. That's okay. And you get a very 1990s wood frame around the outside. You might love it. And there you go. Just click on that button. You can see over here, we've got kind of images, the frame can be turned off. So basically somebody before us has created this wood frame, recorded it, saved it as the default ones in Photoshop. I'm gonna go to File Revert. That's gonna go, there's just too many undos that's probably happened. So File Revert goes back, right back to the beginning. So you can play around with these ones. There's a few more in here. Okay, there are some, say, text effects. I can scroll up here. This panel is a little bit hard to use. I won't lie to you. The easiest way is to say twirl up the default ones. Grab some text. Dan. Move tool. You can see it's just got type there. It means that this one needs to have a type layer selected. And if I hit water reflection and hit play, it's going to give me a kind of a ripply, watery effect. And you can see they're all separate layers. So some of them are kind of cool. And lots of them aren't. So let's look at making our own one, and we'll do specifically the watermark. So let's go to File and let's go to Revert. I'm gonna click on text effects and just hit the trash can to get rid of them. They're not deleted forever. I can go back and get them. So basically all we're gonna do is type some text in the middle and record it at the same time. I wanna record it in this default actions. I'm gonna click on this one that says I'm gonna make a new action, this little turned up page here. Let's give it a name and we'll call this one watermark. This one's going to be a watermark for just text. You can give it shortcut keys, but if you're like me on a Mac, none of these work. That'll open iTunes or something else. So let's just click record. And now you got to be careful. It's remembering every single thing you do. Okay, the little record button's going and we freak out. I do anyway. So just remember, it's going to record every step. So our steps are going to be, I'm going to click the type tool. I'm going to pick a color for my type. I'm going to click once in here. I'm going to type. Now this isn't my photograph. This is one from Unsplash. So this is Paul Herman's photograph. So I'm going to be doing it for him. I have the copyright symbol. And if you're like me, I can never remember what key it is. On a PC or Mac, just hold down your Alt or Option key and just smash away the keys. It's my method anyway. Until I find the copyright. Got lucky. Okay, with it being a watermark, you now decide on how big it is. Okay, I'm just transforming it. Say I want it to be that big. And I'm going to lower the opacity. I'm on my move tool. I'm just going to type in either numbers on my keyboard. Okay, you can see I've set the opacity to 50%. Now, one thing you might have to do is, it's a little bit ugly, but it'll look good against black or a dark background, but it's going to be a little bit lost here on the white. So often an easy way to kind of have both ways, okay, instead of just creating two separate actions, is just to add a drop shadow to it. Okay, drop shadow, it's working for me. Means it can be seen up here and down here fine. I'll lower the opacity again. You can start to see it's recording everything, so I'm not going in a very linear method here. I'm kind of working it out. You can go through and delete these afterwards if you want to make it all nice and pretty. You don't have to though, I never do. So I wanted that, I want it to be in the middle, and that's gonna be it. I'm gonna hit the stop button. So it's recorded now. Let's look at image 2. And what we need to do now is play back that thing we've recorded, that action. Now, weirdly, if I hit play now, it'll play from wherever this little gray highlight is. So it's only gonna do the move layer. So you need to click back on there for some reason, then hit play, and it's gonna run through them all. Watch it, it'll scream through all these, watch. Okay, so fast. No, it used to be able to see it topple through them all, but hey, you can see there, added a watermark. Cool, huh? All right, let's get a little bit more advanced, and let's say we want to update it because we're going to run into a trouble. Like there's fine, that's good. Let's do two things. I want to put an image, okay, in it rather than text. So I'm going to go File, Revert, back to the beginning, and instead of doing this one here, I'm just going to twirl it up so it's nice and tidy. I'm going to create a new one, okay, and this one's going to be called Watermark, but this one's going to be my logo. Instead of just typing it in, I've got like a logo that we've already made. I'm going to click record. Basically, it's the same thing. We're going to go to File, Place Embedded though, instead of typing out text. In your O3 preferences, there's logo white. I'm going to click place. I'm going to get it to the right size. Okay, there's works for me. Hit enter on my keyboard. You can see it's recording place. I'm going to lower the opacity down to like maybe 40%. Add my drop shadow again. There we go. Let's do something even more advanced because basically we could stop that now and go and play it. Actually, let's do that. Let's stop it, go over here, go back to the top, hit play, and it goes and brings through my logo. Cool, huh? We'll batch them in the next video. At the moment, we're just doing the action and we'll show you how to do them to hundreds of images in one go. That'll be the very next video. So file, let's go back to revert. Let's go back to this one. So another bit more advanced actionness. Okay, we've done this, but let's say we want to adjust it again, like do something else. We want to put it down the bottom right like this. Okay, so we've already created this. How do we go and edit it? What we can do is we can say here, at this stage, I want to start recording again. And whatever you do from now on, we'll just add to that list. I want to show you a little trick of how to do it in the bottom right because it's not as simple as it sounds. There's a little workaround. So what we need to do is we need to select both of these layers and then use the align functions up here, but it doesn't work because the background, this background here, because it's locked, gives us all sorts of grief, right? So all we need to do is double click the background, click OK. You should give it a name. Then we can use the feature, instead of just like shift clicking like we do up here, we can use like an automated feature that the actions is gonna like a little bit better because it likes going to here, just going select all layers. Okay, it finds that easier. Then up the top here, we can go, I would like to align to the right, and then I wanna go down to the bottom. You can see in here, it's just aligning the current layers I have selected. That one does the bottom, that one does the left. Next thing I want to do is I want to have just the logo layer selected and I want to move it up and to the left. You can kind of see there in my little tooltip there saying kind of come up 32 pixels and across 44. That's kind of cool because it means it's going to work fine for portrait. It's going to go bottom right and then just kind of come out that amount of space. Make sense? Kind of. Let's hit stop. Now hopefully if I go to image 3, I can go back up to watermark logo, hit play and edit it, put it bottom right. I'm sure I've said bottom left before, but just kind of comes out a few pixels. Let's try it here for one that's kind of like just a different shape, or at least back to this beginning one. That's a really different shape. Let's delete the text off it and let's go play. Cool, huh? All right, my friends, that is going to be it for creating watermarks. We do text and a logo. And the next video, actually the second one after this one, next one we'll do some more advanced actions. And the video after that we'll do kind of batching so we can do them for a zillion different images all in one big go. All right, I'll see you there.